Bengal is burning and Mamata Banerjee is responsible. If this is democracy, then what does dictatorship look like? Because in West Bengal today, free speech leads to arrests. Elections lead to violence. Hindus face lathi charge. Women are lectured instead of protected. Industries have all but fled. And institutions are attacked the moment they ask questions. This is not coincidence. This is not chaos. This is the Mamata Banerjee model. It always begins the same day, with intolerance toward criticism. In West Bengal, a professor and cartoonist, Ambikesh Mahapatra, was arrested for circulating a cartoon on Mamata Banerjee, not for violence or hate, but for a cartoon. Police was sent to make an example of him. The message was simple: mock the chief minister and the state will come knocking. Years later, the court had to step in and order compensation. That order said what the government never would, that arresting Ambikesh was abuse of power. When a government is scared of satire and can't stand the public's freedom of expression, democracy is already bleeding. And this kind of authoritarian control never stops at politics. It seeps into culture. In Mamata Banerjee's Bengal, even devotional expression is unsafe. A renowned singer was heckled and physically harassed on stage simply for singing a devotional song. She was told to sing something secular instead. Let that sink in. A performer attacked for expressing faith in the name of tolerance. That's not secularism, but selective suppression. A state where Hindu expression needs approval is not progressive. In fact, this is deeply insecure. And when this insecurity sits in power long enough, it turns violent. Look at Murshidabad. Protests over the Waqf law turned violent. Homes were vandalized, shops were looted, people were killed. A father and son were hacked to death. These are not allegations, these are convictions. And yet, the urgency from the state was missing. When Hindus are attacked, the administration hesitates. When Hindus protest, the police arrive with lathis. This is political bias enforced through the ones sitting in power. And this culture of intimidation does not stop at protests. It explodes during elections. The 2023 West Bengal's Panchayat elections were not elections, they were battlefields. Violence erupted across districts. Booths were captured, opposition candidates were threatened, attacked, and driven out. Among the dead were BJP workers who were targeted simply for daring to contest and campaign. When elections require central forces to prevent murder, the problem is not the opposition. The problem is the government. And when political killings are normalized, the next victims are always ordinary citizens. And nowhere does this moral collapse of a government become more visible than in how women are treated in that state. From Park Street to Hooghly, from Kasba Law College to Durgapur, the pattern never changes. Crime happens, public outrage follows, and then the chief minister speaks not with empathy but with suspicion. In the Park Street rape case, Mamata Banerjee questioned whether a rape had even occurred. In the Durgapur gang rape case, her response was not about the criminals, it was about the victim. She asked why the girl was out at night. She said girls should avoid going outside.
And especially the girl child at night time, they should not be allowed to come out in the outside.
Victim shaming from the chief minister's chair, from a female chief minister who keeps on claiming that West Bengal is the safest state in India. The victim's own father had to come forward and publicly contradict her. In Bengal today, women are not just unsafe, they are made to feel responsible for the crimes committed against them. And one should realize that when a government doubts victims, it ends up protecting criminals. The sphere does not remain limited to streets and homes. It destroys livelihoods as well. Businesses do not migrate because of ideology. They migrate because of TMC syndicates, extortion, political interference, and lawlessness. The question is simple. What did 14 years of governance under Mamata Banerjee give to West Bengal? Jobs disappear, young people move out, factories shut down, and the state kept surviving on slogans, poetry and blame games. Didi with her TMC family is responsible for this. This is not development, this is decline. Along with cultural and safety decline, West Bengal's economy is also declining more than ever before. But that's not all. There is another point where Mamata Banerjee truly lost control. S.I.R, Special Intensive Revision, a verification exercise, and suddenly the Chief Minister panicked. Why? Because when voter rolls began to be cleaned, people began leaving, quietly in large numbers, across the border. Illegal immigrants from Bangladeshis have started going back, who were not tourists or visitors, but people who had been living here, voting here, working here with forged documents. And again, the same districts appear. North 24 Parganas, South 24 Parganas, the same areas, the same pattern. This is not coincidence. This is demographic manipulation. And that is why S.I.R terrifies this government. Because S.I.R does not listen to speeches. It checks documents, it identifies the infiltrators and protects the citizens of India. Under Mamata's rule, where infiltration was allowed to flourish, Bengal's own people paid the price. Between 2016 and 2023, the state lost around 3 million informal jobs. 3 million livelihoods destroyed, not because Bengalis stopped working, but because syndicates and political patronage crushed honest opportunity. Who controls sand mining? Who controls coal? Who controls construction, transport, local real estate? Every investigation, every ground report points to the same truth that this is political business, and when syndicates rule, honest workers starve. Every few months, a new scandal surfaces. Corruption in Bengal is not an allegation anymore. It has become a pattern. Sharda, Rose Valley, thousands of families lost their life savings. Dreams were destroyed and people were pushed into poverty. Then came Narda. Cash for favor was caught on camera. Senior leaders were seen accepting money openly. This was not hearsay. This was literal evidence. Yet accountability never reached the top, and this is why new scams keep emerging. Teacher recruitment scams, municipal scams, land scams, coal scams. TMC's governance in West Bengal is absolutely based on corruption. Suppress speech, control culture, intimidate Hindus, blame women, drive out industry, protect infiltrators, peer verification, and attack institutions. This is not governance, this is control. S.I.R is not anti-poor, it is anti-fraud. It is not a threat to Bengalis. In fact, it is to protect them. For the first time, the system is being audited in West Bengal. And that is why Mamata Banerjee is afraid, because audits terrify those who have something to hide. West Bengal is burning, but this time, the truth is not backing down.